MG Presents app. If you know me, time is money, and I don't like to waste either. The brother that I got on the show today goes by the name of Jeffrey Watkins. I know him as P. I know him as Green Eyes. I know the brother very well. Me and the brother go back deeply, and this is why it's so much of an honor today to be able to sit down and have him on the show to talk about. And this is what I'm dawning it: the beautiful struggle. The beautiful struggle. And the reason why I'm naming this the beautiful struggle is because I watched the brother while we struggled. I seen the struggle. So being on this end and the thing that he's formulating and going through is just a development of progression. So me and the brother, we're gonna have a long talk. I'm not gonna do too much as my daughters say, right? They be like, yo, I'm putting too much I'm putting too much on it. Putting too much on it. They say, Dad, chill. But as you can tell, man, it's a beautiful moment today to be in the presence of this brother. So let's bring the brother on. He goes by the name of Jeffrey Watkins, my brother. Let me take him on. I got him on mute. Let's unmute the brother. My brother, thank you. First and foremost, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. You already know.
Shout out to MJMG Presents. I see you jumping on right now. My brother, you, again, seriously speaking, and let me stop the music for this. Seriously speaking, it's joyous because a lot of our initial conversations of where we met were on some real dark and low vibrational environments, but we kept energy prevalent. So it's good to be here now to be able to smile about the struggles and the things that we're going through today, man.
The beautiful struggle.
The beautiful struggles, the beautiful struggles. It's amazing. Speaking of beautiful struggles, I mean, everybody who tunes in onto the show, they know my background. I 2 seconds in, I'd be like, yeah, I did a bid. Like 2 seconds in, I do not shed from it. I do not fear from it.
At all.
I always want to be a representation of brothers who progressed through, not from it, but through that circumstances and come out the other end. You know what I'm saying? During our travels. And speaking of you, man, when you got out, and we're gonna bounce around, but when you got out, like, what was the vibrations for you in your motivation?
Oh man, the motivation off the rip was never ever to go back. You know what I mean? Like, never look back, never go back. That wasn't an option. It was extremely hard. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard, but it was almost like being, when we infants, bro, we don't really know how it felt to be born for the first time. But coming home from that bed, I felt like it was like a rebirth for me. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a do-over, a start over. And I just wanted to do right, man. Like, I was never ever trying to go back to that spot ever again. You know
Ever again. No,
that shit is corny.
It's not. I don't even think for brothers like us, it's never an equation of we don't ever want to go back. It's just not in the cards. Like our transition is like, okay, we did that.
We did that. It's something under our belt.
Yeah, we did that. We on a moving cart. We on a moving cart.
Facts.
You can add author to your accolades in the midst of entrepreneurship and all and an abundance of different titles. But let's talk a little bit about your book and why you even wrote the book.
Oh man, like
I went straight for the gusto.
Nah, that's what's up. So the book, man, so to go back, about a year ago, I had opened up a restaurant, with my kids' moms in my hometown, where I grew up at back in Poughkeepsie. And it was going right, man. It was doing very, very well, for like the first 2 months, we was hitting bank. It was doing very well. And then, amongst the bosses, we split ways, and I end up losing everything. Like, I lost absolutely everything. You know what I mean? When I say everything I lost. Every single thing you could think about, I lost. You know what I mean? Back to back. So in the process of that, I just, in my darkest hour, bro, like, I just sat down and I just started writing my biography of my life or what I've been through, it was very therapeutic for me. You know what I mean? Because to lose what I lost, I could have easily channeled, you know what I mean, that devil on the left side of my shoulder and
Yeah.
been right back to prison. You know what I mean? But instead, you know what I mean, I just start writing, you know what I mean, all my pain, my thoughts and everything that I could remember, you know what I mean, since like growing up in Far Rockaway all the way up until now. So yeah, man, I wrote a book and it's, it's doing very well. A lot of people like the book, and that's always good, man, because you never know, you know what I mean, what people's gonna say about it. You know what I mean? You throw something out, it's like a mixtape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You rap and all that. So you in the studio, you doing your shit, you know what I mean? Then you put it out there, you gotta wait, you know what I mean, for that feedback. So right now the feedback is
It's
amazing, you know what I
amazing.
mean? Yeah, the feedback is amazing.
Now, you this is not your first rodeo in restaurant or
Nah.
establishment. Could you talk about a little bit of going into that and why restaurant? That's not an easy thing to
All
go
right.
into. Like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So what motivated that?
So what motivated that honestly was my kid's mother, my daughter's mother. She's Dominican, you know what I mean, background. So she get busy in the kitchen, you know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. Like she got busy. So it was a dream of hers, you know what I mean, to always want a restaurant. And during the pandemic, just before, like just when a lot of the restaurants was closing down, I seen a restaurant for sale up in Albany, New York, where we used to reside at, and I bought it for her. You know what I mean? I bought her the restaurant. We didn't know anything about the restaurant business, bro. We didn't come with no manual or
No
nothing. We
manual.
jumped right into it. She knew how to cook. You know what I mean? I knew how to pretty much run a business because that's what I was doing. I mean, being in the union, I used to be down in Manhattan and running different businesses for this company that I used to work for. So hand in hand, it worked. You know what I mean? And it just we got it popping. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I know in business, like when you start businesses, no matter what kind of business you start, you get a new insight of people, and then there's people who know you that don't give you the energy, or even in many occasions, send negative energy away. How dealing
Yeah.
with your personal life, as well as doing business, and how did you manage past or within that?
Bro, it's extremely hard, man. You know what I mean? I'm still living off of some of the effects that happened over a year ago. You know what I mean? It's just some things like me, like who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just some things that happen, you know what I mean, that I really don't want to say too much because I want these people to go out and get the book, you know
Get
what
the
I mean?
book. Get the book.
But
We gonna circle back.
yeah,
I'm lining up the
but
alley oops.
nah, yeah, 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 yeah. All right. So for me, bro, it's hard, man. I'm built on loyalty. You know what I mean? I'm very, very built on loyalty. You know what I mean? You love me, I love you 10 times harder. So it was a lot of stuff that happened in the past, bro, that, you know what I mean, still to this day, it hurt. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's very, so to answer your question, you got to be a strong individual, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I think our past of what we've been through in life and maneuvering the way that we did in prison, you know what I mean? The different prisons that we've been through and the different fights on I had and this, that, and the third, like it kind of like set me up, you know what I mean, for the world, you know what I mean? And the betrayal and the stuff that you got to deal with when you have a business that's doing very well, actually. If it wasn't doing well, I probably wouldn't have went through half the shit that I went through. You know what I mean? But the fact that it
Yeah.
was doing well, I seen a lot of envy and jealousy, bro. And I'm still seeing it to this day. Like it's just wild. You know what I mean?
You mentioned something earlier that kind of came in very quick, but as quick as it came in is how powerful it could be. And you mentioned when things were collapsing and things weren't going as great, you said you had the devil on the shoulder that you could have easily went
Easy.
into any direction. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We don't
facts.
know where those endless roads when that
Yeah,
conversation come in, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
What was a deciding factor for you as an individual to stay the course?
Bro, it was actually my daughter, man, my 12-year-old. So around the time when all of the shit was
Wow.
happening with the restaurant, you know what I mean? Everything was being like people who don't read everything was being taken out the restaurant. Like my daughter, I was just having dinner with her and I had to bring her home early and she had called me. And when I was in transit, she was like, "Daddy, listen, I know you upset." She said, "But please, like, don't do nothing stupid. Please don't ever go back to jail. Don't leave me." So when she said that, bro, like that humbled. I actually put that in the book. That's in the book, bro. That humbled everything in me because the old me showed face that night. You know what I mean? Like I was ready. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was ready to crash. You know what I mean? Like I was ready to crash. I didn't know who I was gonna crash on because I'm dealing with family and individuals, you know what I mean, that I love. So it was very hard for me to swallow that, you know what I mean? It was like one of those things, like you know how that you could be in prison, you could have you could be on a click and you just got some bad news, and it's like the first nigga you seen is getting it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how
Transferable energy. Transferable
yeah, you know what
energy.
I'm saying? What I'm saying? That's how I felt. But my daughter called me, bro, and it was just her voice, and and it was like God's like pretty much like, yo, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, you don't want to go back. You know what I mean? Because, bro, I'm telling you, man, yo, it
I
was ugly. It
I
was
get you.
ugly, man. It
We
was
we
ugly.
we already got an email in. Shout out to Ruby. I believe that's Ruby Shanae. Please forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Hailing out of the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. They be on here heavy. And the
Shout out to the
question that
Philippines.
Ruby shot in, Ruby said, "I heard about restaurant and there's a little bit of language barrier, so please bear with us, everybody."
Yeah,
But she said, "I heard restaurant, bad situation. How did you keep going?"
God, you know what I mean? God, I kept going with God. I prayed. And then, you know what I mean? I end up getting a new business partner. And sometimes, you know what I mean, that's just it's I'm learning in the business, bro, like it's very cutthroat, you know what I mean? If a person's not coming in genuine, you know what I mean, they have their own hidden agendas, you're always gonna have problems. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I just keep I don't know what it is, son. Like I think dudes look at me like nigga green eyes, like and just let me just try this nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Let me just see, let me see what the hype is about. Like you know what I mean? I know he did a bid, but is he really about, you know what I mean? Like Pop always used to tell me, he says sometimes you gotta show your things, you know what I mean, to remind them who you are. You know what I'm saying? But even with my new business partner, bro, like it's bad. You know what I mean? It's just it's like it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, it's to answer Shorty question, bro, it was God that's
Thank God.
putting me that's pulling me through all of this
Now,
right now. You know what I mean?
now we heard the the magnitude of how bad and how conniving it could be, right? In hindsight, now with all the stuff that you've been through, what would you have done differently if you could have? And I'm not a big fan of the I would have did this differently if I could. I'm always moving forward, but for those that are listening, I see your stories having an impact on people. So just to give perspective, if you could go back to that, like what would you do different?
Man, if I can go back, I would read the red flags, you know what I mean? And not just pass over. I seen this, I seen the jealousy and the envy, and I actually absolutely looked over it because in my mind, the bigger picture is to get this restaurant off the ground. But I seen and I'm hearing the little birds chirping and the stuff like that. And it was like me just being like one person. You know what I mean? I can't control 100 different people. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? So if I can do anything differently, I mean, you need a team, bro, to make anything happen. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know that. You have a team where you at with the studios and everything. So it's
yeah,
very hard in this business, especially the restaurant business, when you go into a business with somebody because like their opinion counts just as well as as well as yours. So if I don't want something and that person wants something, then now we deadlocked. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's always, you know what I mean. So to be honest with you, What I do different is I would have probably did something totally different other than a restaurant. To be honest, like
Is
something that just I can control and nobody else. You know what I mean?
is it safe to say that's it for the restaurants? Like, is this for the restaurants or the restaurants is
I'm
coming
not
back?
gonna I'm not gonna say that's it for the restaurant, but if I do happen to open up another restaurant, I will solely just be the owner. I wouldn't get a business partner at all. You know what I mean? I would hire somebody to come along so that way, if I have to let that person go, there's no litigation, anything that we gotta go through for that matter. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? As what I'm about to go through right now. You understand what I'm saying? But I like the business. Um, at first I didn't like it too much because you got to pretty much live there. You know what I mean? But I think when I had my restaurant in Poughkeepsie, I loved every second of it, bro. You know what I mean? To see the different people that I grew up with coming in, eating, loving the food and stuff like that. It was a moment for me. You know what I mean? It was definitely a moment. I ain't gonna hold you. Like it was a beautiful thing. You know what
I
I
dig it.
mean? Like it was beautiful. So yeah.
Let's talk about the book a little bit. Could you give the people a little perspective, name of the
Okay.
book, and for those that
Yeah.
are possibly just going on, where they could get the book. Let's do that now,
Okay.
and we're gonna do it again, but let's do that
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Where they could
yeah,
get the
yeah,
book,
yeah.
we gotta get that splashing. We gotta get that
All
splashing.
right. All right. So the name of the book, this is my own personal copy. That's why it says not for resale on here. But the name of the book is What Happened to Latin and Soul. The restaurant name was Latin and Soul Buffet. It was a buffet. It was the first buffet that was Latin food, Spanish food, and soul food combined, and it made history. It was the first one in upstate Poughkeepsie area in the Hudson area ever. Like it was the first one, so it was very
Nice,
very big.
nice.
It was in the newspaper. It was on the news. Bro, I had people coming all the way from the Bronx stopping there. It was a big, very very big thing. I got the name simply because the Latin part is my kids. Like their mother's Dominican, so I wanted to pay homage to her. You know what I mean?
Respect.
At the same time, like I'm like the soulful part of it, and then it's a buffet. So that's the name of it. The name of the book is What Happened to Latin and Soul, and that's on Amazon right now. There's a hard copy, it's a soft copy, and the ebook and audiobook should be hitting like any day now. Oh, and you can get it from Barnes and Noble too.
Okay,
You can
y'all
get it at
heard
Barnes
that.
and
Tap
Noble. Yeah.
tap in and let's get that book because he's not gonna give you the whole story. You
Nah,
gotta
I
get
can't give you the
you
whole
gotta go
story.
check it out yourself.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. It's a lot in there though.
in short form, what
Yeah,
happened? What happened to Latin and Soul? I know there was a lot of complications between partnerships
yeah.
and stuff like that, but what happened to? Like you was making
So
history, it was making the
yeah,
news, like all the elements
was there.
was there. All the
It
elements
was
was there.
there.
What
It was
happened?
there. What happened, bro, to be honest, to be 100% honest with you, bro, when I look back at it, it was a lot of jealousy, envy, hate, greed. All of that was around me. You know what I mean? It was like I came out there, you know what I mean, to bring something back to my town, something different, something new. You know what I mean? And the people that I had around me, bro, the money was coming in, but I guess they wanted to be like, you know what I mean, up there, the person that was handling the money or seeing things through or whatever. But no, let me say this real quick though, right? Everybody want the money, but nobody was getting up at 5:30 in the morning. You know
Talk
what I mean?
about it.
Doing inventory. You know what I mean? Doing payroll. You know what I mean? Shopping.
Offloading,
You know what I mean?
offloading.
Offloading. You know what I mean? Nobody but me. I was doing all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But they wanted that title, you know what I mean? And they did what they did. You know what I mean? People gonna read what they did. They did what they did, you know what I mean?
Now, writing the book, when you start illustrating in words the book, there's a lot of details and things that can alter people's feelings and go into that. How did that change for you with the people around you?
What do you mean? Like,
The book, writing that book, how did people
uh-huh.
change around you? Like, I could
Oh man.
I could imagine if people wanted to be superstars when it was going good, when you start talking
Yo,
about everything else,
yeah.
how did
So
that affect you though?
I mean, it really didn't affect me to like. So the book is putting, I'm a very quiet person, so like the book is detailed from the beginning to the end, you know what I mean? And I'm putting stuff out there that happened in my life. Everything, let me say this too, you know what I mean? For all my haters that's out there, that's running their mouth and all of that, I hear you, but I'm never gonna respond. And I'm definitely not responding to nobody who I used to I used to write my signature for their check. You know what I mean? You know who you are. But secondly, everything in this book I can back up with receipts, bro. Everything is in black and white. You know what I mean? Everything in this book happened, and there's somebody that I know that can vouch for everything that I put in
That you
this
put in the
book, and
book.
that's a fact. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a whole fact.
He
But
we just had to put that in the air for everybody.
yeah, we just had to put that in the
Yeah,
air
yeah,
real
it's
quick
okay.
because it's a lot of birds running their mouth right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna be the one to try to jump out there and defend who I am. I am who I am, you know what I mean? And this book says it all. So, you know what I mean? Everybody else, they can just go read the book. That's all I gotta say, man. You
I
know what I
dig it.
mean? But to answer your question, oh bro, like yeah, a lot of people didn't like the book simply because of some of the stuff that I put in there and of a certain person. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say a lot of let me back up. I said a lot of people there's a ton of people that love the book. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But far as yeah, there's a ton of people that love the book. You can see that on the Amazon. They love the book, they love the story. But then it's that other side that I was telling you about. It's always two
There's always two
fans.
sides. Yeah.
It's two fans. You know what I mean? It's the ones that root for you and the ones that want to see you
Yeah.
not doing good at all. You know what I
But
mean? So,
both of them be in the audience.
both of them in the audience
Both.
and both of them is good for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Especially when they want
Straight
to
up.
talk about me, please continue, man. That make
Yeah.
my book sales go up. You know what I mean? Like straight like that. But yeah, so it was this was like a game changer for me, man. Like it was very therapeutic. I needed to get that frustration out because God knows, you know what I mean?
I got you.
For real.
Golden 562 on Instagram. I'm not sure if the question was posed to the restaurants or the restaurant versus the book, but the
Hmm.
question was which one you got paid the most from, and they got the eyes.
From the so far the book.
The book.
Yeah, the
Wow.
book. Yeah,
The book.
so let me. I'm glad she asked that. So with the restaurant, bro, the restaurant was making crazy money, but I never seen it. You know what I mean? Like the money was going back into. I
To
was
the
spending like 17,000 a week, but for my payroll and for the inventory for the restaurant. You know what I mean? A week. That's what it was coming out. And then any little thing that I like, any extra money, I put back into the restaurant. You know what I mean? To like new floors or whatever the case may be. So the book, I'm actually seeing more money from the book than I ever seen with the restaurant. That's a fact.
the fact. We also got in the chat. They were saying talk about how you had to paint and build the spot yourself. You put in the flooring.
Oh yeah, that's somebody that know me.
That's they like, you put in the
Oh, that's
flooring.
why. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so for the first, so I got the last year April, I got the restaurant. All right, me and my kid's mother, we got the restaurant,
Okay.
and they gave us a deal. I think it was like a 6 month deal to get the restaurant up and running. I mean, up like how we wanted it because it was pretty bad, bro. Like the person that had it before us left it there during the pandemic. It
Them.
was still pots and stuff on a uh on a on the oven that still had food in it from years ago. And I mean, it was bad in there.
Oh wow.
So I repainted the whole entire clean. We cleaned everything. I repainted the whole entire restaurant, put new floors and everything in there. You know what I mean? And then so like, and it took me about like 4 or 5 months to do that. You know what I mean? So a little bit of my background when people like I paint, I'm a bridge painter. By trade. I've been in the business for 14 years. I'm in Union Local 201 out in
So
Albany.
I don't, before keep your thoughts. So you be hanging off bridges painting them shits.
Yeah, facts. You know what I
My
mean? Yeah, yeah,
my
facts.
man is the
You know
one
what I
that
mean?
keep them joints crispy looking good, y'all.
Yeah,
That's a profession.
every 7 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, I did that. I do that for a living. Like that's my occupation as a bridge painter. So I painted that entire restaurant. The restaurant is humongous. It's 2 floors, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So painted the restaurant from top to bottom, you know what I mean? Dolo by myself, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And got it open. You know what I mean? Got it open.
Wow. Now, when you say, in the business sense, and here on MJMG Presents, we merge the concepts of business, a lot of gems, we're based on character and
Hmm.
maximizing, what I'm saying, between usage and using, like utilizing and using people. So just in that essence, between the business partners and everything, when you was going into your business and creating your team, what was your mind frame of collaborating with people? Like, what was the mind frame and the goal you
Yeah.
was setting in that?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that. That's a great question. So when I went back to Poughkeepsie, I picked out some. I wanted the best, and I mean of the chefs that were out there. You know what I mean? Pretty much people that's trying to get their food out there, whatever the case. A lot of people that was working out of home. I was looking for the best. You know what I mean? One was actually my cousin, rest in peace. He just recently passed away. My little cousin Josh.
Rest,
You know what I
rest,
mean?
bless to your family, man.
Um, yeah, thank you, man. He was the truth. You know what I mean? Like, his sauce game pause was crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he had a crazy sauce game. He got busy. I had him. I had this girl named Z. This Muslim girl by the name of Z. She was really good. My brother was actually there. Corey went to culinary and everything. He did school. He did that for a little while. I
Okay.
mean, so I was kind of like trying to pull
So you
in.
have four chefs?
I had four. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It was a bit.
y'all was doing
Yeah, it was a
good. Y'all,
big. It was
y'all was doing
big,
really
bro.
good.
Big. It was big. It was big. You know what I mean?
Y'all
It
was
was
doing
big.
good. I wasn't the
Yeah.
chef up north, but I could cook up something, bro. You should have hollered at me, bro. Like,
Yeah, son. It was not. I used to always have the rice and beans with the Jack Mac every night, son. Like Spud used to eat the same thing every night. Nah, but
yo.
yeah, I have four chefs. It was dope. You know what I mean? When we clicked, it was a very, very beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? It was something I wish we could have stayed, but Eagles got involved and it went left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most
What
definitely.
can you do?
MJMG Presents said, restaurants, usually got a profit in that first year, in
Hmm.
order to be, sustainable. As she mentioned,
Yeah,
a family business shut down. Within your time frame, outside of the individuals, business wise, in that
yeah.
business structure, you saw the progression growing in fulfilling that, like the
Yo,
continuation.
in the first 2 months of being open, well over 200 some thousand dollars was gross.
I gotta stop
You
the
know what I
music for
mean?
that shit right there. Stop the music for that one right there.
Facts, you know what I mean? Like I got all this in black and white. Yeah, for the first 2 months, we opened up in August. By October, it was well over 200 some thousand gross at that restaurant. We was making about 75 to 8,000 a day. You know what I mean?
Nice.
That's why I didn't understand why someone would sabotage something that's bringing in this type of money. But the only thing that would do that is jealousy, envy, greed, bro. Like that does that. When that's there, and then there's somebody within, like my baby mom's had just as much power as I did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it happened. You understand what I'm saying? Like it went left. You know what I mean? And and then when I try to get it back, we got it back. It was never the same. It was never the same,
Never the
bro.
same.
It was like it ran its course. You know what I mean? It was
Damn.
never the same. You know what I mean? Well,
Now this question is kind of like just off field because I always feel there's a correlation between what I'm gonna ask you. With the I don't want to use the failure, but with the disruptions of how people were behaving and not taking in the teamwork mind frame, how how instrumental do you think like that social media mind frame took place into this, or if it even did?
well, I don't think the social media had anything to do with it, bro, because I mean they did what they did and they went on with their lives. They never posted anything. They never said what happened. You know what I mean? It was like everything just fell on me. It was bad for the town, you know what I mean? Cause you know what I mean, everybody looked at me like, yo, bro, what happened? You know what I mean? But I'm not the type of person to go online and be like, oh, my family, and the third. Like that's why I mean I'm on Facebook, but I said, you guys spread the lie for free. I'm gonna make them pay for it now. That's why I wrote the book. You know what I mean? So people could read exactly what happened. You know what I mean? I never made no money off of Latin and Soul. It was making a hell of a lot of money, but I never seen no money in my own pocket behind that
It was
until now.
reinvestment.
Yeah, until now. You know what I mean? I wrote the story, I put it out there. Now everybody's buying it, wanting to see because I never said nothing. So now everybody want to see what I gotta say. You know what I mean? Or why the restaurant, something that was doing so well, why did it end the way that it did?
When
You know what I
when you
mean?
when you were writing this book, was there ever a moment or a chapter or a page that you got to and you was like, should I sugarcoat this or should I do I even do I need to lean in on them like this with this paper and
I f-
pen or was there ever that moment
yeah.
and if there was, what made you continue?
So it was definitely that moment when I was talking about my family. You know what I mean? I wanted to, bro. I wanted to go in. You know what I mean? I wanted to just like rip them apart because that's how I felt. You know what I mean? But then I had to understand like I don't want to be like them in no way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's still my family. So I kind of like spanked them a little bit. You know what I mean? Just to show them like, what y'all did was corny. I hope they watching. Like, you know what I mean? What y'all did was corny, and y'all lost me forever behind that. You know what I mean? It's certain things that, like I said in the book, love won't cross certain lines. You know what I'm saying? Like if I love you, I'm not gonna cross a certain line. You know what I mean? At all.
Yeah.
So those lines was crossed, was let me know that that love wasn't there no more. So you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's still family. So I let the book talk for itself. You know what I mean? It's straight
For
like that.
I mean, I could imagine in every type of business structure, from the streets to a 9 to 5 to the music to a restaurant. When you have the equation of people not taking the full idea of camaraderie or teamwork, what advice you have for people who are in that same or seeing the red flags, but especially with the concept of family, and whatever they're doing? What kind of advice could you share to the viewers that are listening?
I mean, to be honest with you, Spud, like I feel like if you're starting to see red flags now, it's probably too late because once those paperworks and everything, and you got your signature and this things are stamped, and you know what I mean, you got leases for X amount of years, whatever. That's what you got to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? I think the best thing to do is try to like sit down and try to come up with a like an agreement. You know what I mean? Some type of understanding before it goes left. Because like, bro, like nobody cared. Like, so my baby mom's, she got two other restaurants, I believe three other restaurants. I think she got one in DR. Bro, for her to take down the restaurant that I had was nothing to her. You know what I mean? She's not losing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a statement type thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tear this down, and then I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna get my money from over here.
Yeah.
None of her. What I will say is this though, and I can vouch for this. All three of her restaurants combined wasn't making what Latin and Soul was making in one day. You know what I mean? That's a fact. Out of the week, that's a fact. Latin and Soul was a very, very big thing to the point to where she tried to take the idea and open up another restaurant out of town with the same concept. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna be the same. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's Poughkeepsie's my town. You know what I mean? I grew up there. That's where I grew up at. So everybody was coming through to show love. So to answer your question, just to try to sit down, bro, with the person and try to like come with some type of agreement before it goes left. Because especially if it's making money, like if it ain't making no money, then you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
really nothing to talk about. Like
Yeah.
you
What
know
are
what I
we
mean.
doing? What are we?
Yeah, like you know what I mean. What are we really arguing about? But if it's making money, it makes things that more complicated. You know
It
what I'm
does.
saying? So That's
Pop
just
said
what it is.
something. He said something, and I have a phrase. He said, you know, there's a big difference between family and relatives, and I have a saying. I say I have billions and tons of relatives, but my family's very small. My
Yeah.
family's very small. But I do have a question, and they said, you know, shout out to Booker O. He was asking, was it her side of the family or was it yours?
It was my side of the family. Yeah, it was my side of the family that helped my baby moms take the restaurant down. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Yeah, it was
wow.
my side of the family that helped her take it down because I don't want to give everything out.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
go
yeah.
read the
See,
book. But
see, I'm already like, oh.
yeah, yeah, it was my side of the family. And you know the sad thing about it, and I pray that they watching this. Her family, bro, what you couldn't have paid her family to do what my family did to me, bro. For them to like do that to her. Like they would have never did that. You know what I'm saying? That's what and this is something that I know for a fact. You know what I mean? Her family would have never set her up to lose her business over, you know what I mean, over me type
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? But my family, for whatever reason, bro, it was easy. It was too easy. Like watch when you read it. It was too easy. It let me know that how they felt was there for a very very
Long
long
time.
time, and I just didn't peep it. Especially with my brother. And I mean, with my mom's, that's a different story. But with my brother, it's like, damn, son, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like that shit hurt it. You know what I mean? That
There's
shit hurt it, but it is what it is.
there's one question for those that are on, or this is your first time on MJMG Presents Shoe Radio. There's only one question that I ask continuously on every show. Every other question is conversation based on the story, and this question is: if you could look back at the younger Jeffrey Watkins, if you could look back at the younger version of yourself and tell yourself anything, what would you say to yourself, my brother?
To be honest with you, I would most likely say that, you know, blood really doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like for me to watch the people that's very closest to me, you know what I mean? Like especially at an early age when I'm seeing, you know what I mean, the different, yeah, the if I can go back, bro, I would have protected myself from family members early, you know what I mean? Instead of waiting all the way up until 40 something years old and getting hurt like some kid that, like if I was a teenager, you understand what I'm saying? Like that shit hurt when you think that somebody loves you, you know what I mean? Because they family, and then you realize, damn, you ain't even got that type shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it was just for me, it was just to watch everybody, watch the closest people to me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, cause I've been snaked mad times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go into a situation to hurt anybody, so I'm not looking or even thinking in that manner. But when it happens, it's almost like it's blindsided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes. You know what I
You
mean? So it'd be that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna ask a question, and it's not pertaining, you know, the restaurant aspect, but as black men, we deal with hurt almost daily. Like there's different levels and effects and
Facts.
balances of it. And you know, we take her and sometimes we marvel it, sometimes we praise it, sometimes we honor it. We give it a badge. And you know, you said when I heard you say, you know, I was hurt like I was a young kid, and I know what that meant, you know what I'm saying? I know what that
Yeah.
blind pain feels like. But
Yeah.
how do you and this is for everyone to hear it, but how do you
Yeah.
deal with just in general hurt?
I mean, bro, it's. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I can't even. Sometimes, I mean, what I normally do, I go to the gym. You know what I mean? I go to the gym. I let it out there. You know what I mean? But like a lot of my pain and frustration is built up. You know what I mean? Like like in the inside, I'm very hurt, broken, angry. You know what I mean? Because even at this age right now, bro, like I'm supposed to be gone. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be exactly where I need to be, but it's like that shit was cut from me. Um, I just think like praying, bro. Like I pray. You know what I mean? I kind of look at everything as it was supposed to happen this way. You know what I mean? Like, God allowed this to happen for a better cause. So that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? But, that pain is there deep. I mean, it's just, especially when it comes from family. If it would have came from somebody I didn't know, then that's different. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But, you know what I mean? Like, I got two family members that pretty much off they self with me. So, it's different.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that because you mentioned it and it stuck out of my ears a lot. And as
Yeah.
men, as black men at that, as men, um,
It's very
we
hard
we talk about we are getting more comfortable of talking about
talking
pain.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
facts.
getting comfortable talking about pain, but it's rarely talked about what we do with the shit. Like it's like I'm
Yeah.
going through this and I'm gonna keep
I,
trucking, I'm gonna keep lugging it on, but we
I
rarely
be
talk about
calling
that.
I be calling pop up when I'm going through some of the darkest times of my life. I call pop. Pop always answer, always like, "Yo, Pito, what's up?" You know what I mean? And I be telling him, you know what I mean. And after talking to Pop, bro, like it's like I'm on a whole different other airplane now. You know what I mean? Like I'm just soaring. You know what I'm saying? So like I definitely have Pop. You know what I mean? Like Pop, through the years. I mean, we go back and forth, just checking whatever the case may be. But a lot I keep to myself, bro. And I go to the gym and I work out. I take it out there. You know what I mean? But that's about it, man.
I
Like
dig it.
I wish I could sit and talk to. I probably need to see a psychiatrist or somebody to sit and talk about all of the shit that I've been through in life. You know what I mean? But as
Or
of right
or
now,
or just write some more books. I'm just saying.
oh, I'm that. So I'm glad you said
I'm
that.
just saying, just write some more
So
books. Like talk
so
about it.
like so like I was telling you, right, the book is doing very well. So I didn't put everything in this book because I wanted to see how the first book was going to do. And now that I see that the first book is doing very well, there's absolutely a second one coming out. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Absolutely. There's gonna a lot of stuff that I didn't put in the first would be in the second one. You know what
Is
I
the
mean?
second book more like, all right, I'm warmed up now. My jumper's hitting.
Yeah.
Let me step back
This
a little bit. I'm going for the
this
three now. The short
the
range
sec
was
the
good.
the second one is all Steph Curry's, man. You know what I mean? The second one's gonna be all headshots. You know what I mean? Like I put my all into this book, bro. But like I said, I didn't put everything in it. And the feedback that I'm getting from it is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
Nice. MJMG said, that's right. It's not about the journey. It's how we go through the journey, and that's real.
yeah, that's a
That's real.
fact. Because we all got a story, man. We all gonna go through our shit. You know what I mean? It's just how you get through it, how you maneuver it.
For
We
those that are
already know how to
just,
move through prison, so you know what I mean. Out
shit,
here,
right. You know what I'm saying? A few of those, you know what I'm saying? A few of those, a few, we make it through. We make it
yeah,
through. You know what I'm saying?
we already
We
know how to move, so
we
you
know
know
how
what I
to
mean.
carry. And that's one thing that for those listening right now, we making humor about it, but you gotta carry on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's one
facts,
thing. Like
facts.
you have to carry on. I once told a guy going through, and a good brother of mine, good brother of mine. He was going through a mental health moment, and he was like, "Yo, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more." And I said, "Then die.
Yeah, yeah,
Then die." Because if you're not trugging along, what we doing? I could say whatever
yeah,
to you, bro. But if you want to thug it out, if you want, I'll help you carry some shit. I ain't carrying everything. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I'll help you carry some. But we gotta keep going through, man. And I
You
want
told
to.
him to die. That's crazy.
Yeah, I told him die. I told him he was in my studio. He'll tell you. I said die, bro. I took his phone. I was like, how you want to do it? Shoelaces? Like I know we could string this up. Like how you want? I take you to the roof. You could jump. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
is it
yeah.
that? Is it
Nah,
to
I
that
get what you're
degree?
saying.
You
No,
know what I'm
I get what
saying?
you're saying.
If
Yeah, I get
not,
what you're saying.
if not, then let's thug it out. Let's
Let
let's
me
get
ask you.
past it.
Let me ask you something real quick though. If your man would have offed himself, how would you would have felt, bro?
Damn, I would have been fucked up, bro. I'd have been fucked up. I'd have like, you ain't shit, bud. You ain't shit, bro.
Nah, but I get what you're saying though. Yeah, it's
You know,
either. it's either we gonna do it or we not. You know what I
Yeah, it's
mean?
like it's
And
okay to
that's it.
hurt. It's okay to hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
It's okay to hurt, but what we doing with it? We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it pumping. On this show right here, man. You know, we know we're in the era of everybody getting their flowers. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing now. Everybody getting their flowers. But here on MJMG Presents SHU Radio, we don't give out flowers, man. We give out honor because flowers do die. With
It's
that
a
being said,
fact.
man, I want to take this time to give you your honor, man. I know you've been through your journeys and your ups and downs. You know, the struggles between people and people pulling you apart and ruining different things that you got. But one thing that I would say, brother, from sitting in state greens, from every pull up, push up, and dip, every round the world, every walk to the mess hall, every like coming from that place and to be here to say, yo, I made a move and my restaurant made $200,000 in this grace period of time. And to
Yeah.
say, you know, I didn't do it once, I did it 3 times. And then even when that fell, I wrote a book. And I'm coming back with my second book. And I know you
Yeah.
said, you know, damn, I'm supposed to be at a place, but my brother, your journey is still in its pursuit. And everything you experience, every hardship, every fall, every betrayal is just strengthened for what's next. You're still
Yeah.
thugging it. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
appreciate that,
still
man.
thugging
Thank
it. You
you.
still trailing
Yeah.
it. And it's a great testimony for everybody. So we just want to give you your honor
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you.
continuation. And again, it's so dope to be on this end talking
Yeah.
about,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We ain't talking about
Yeah.
mail call. We ain't
Yeah.
talking about, you know, Yakasobi was trash. You know what I'm saying? They not answering the phone.
Yeah.
We not talking about
Facts.
that. You know what I'm saying? That transition.
Yeah.
Now we just had a conversation about a restaurant that made 200,000. He like, yo, they messed that up. That's the conversations that a lot of people that ain't been through a lot of the things that we have can't even
Yeah.
have that conversation, my brother.
That's
I just
true.
want to
That's
give
true.
you that honor, man. You on your
Thank you, man.
journey,
Thank you.
and
Thank you, man.
keep thugging it. Cause I'm gonna tell you,
Thank
bro,
you.
then die.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna do it, bro, just
I'm gonna get a shirt that says "Then die."
yo, shout out to my man. I know if he watching right now, he like, yo, he ain't lying. Cause I dead ass told him. I dead ass told him that, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was out of passion and love, man. I just like, yo, bro, we just gotta keep going,
Yeah.
man. But talk for those that probably just jump on, please blast that book again, where they could get the book, you know,
Yeah.
the
So
name,
hold on.
everything.
Before I do that, right? You just gave me my honor. I wanna return that same energy to you, bro. Cause like I said, I mean, we was up north together, you know what I mean? We used to have conversations, you know what I mean, and all of that, you know what I mean? We go way back. To see where you at right now, Spud, I'm honored to even know you as a person, bro. Like I'm blessed to have you in my life. You, Pop, Clay, you know what I mean? You guys made my bed, you know what I mean, when I was up top. And I'm proud of you, bro. You're doing very, very big things. You know what I mean, and it wouldn't be me to not, you know what I mean, give that energy right back to you, bro. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing. I'm on your show right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's big. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to you, my brother. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, thank you, my
For
brother.
sure. Hats off to you. You know what
I
I mean?
appreciate that, man. Real talk, man. That's
You already know
motivation.
what it is.
That's motivation to just
Yeah,
keep doing
yeah.
it. Just keep
Yeah,
thugging it.
we gonna
Keep
we
thugging
gonna
it.
keep going. Hey,
Keep,
yo, Pop, if you hear this, yo, bro, we gonna keep going. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's a fact.
Pop still on here. Pop still on here. Cause if he wasn't, I was
Yeah,
gonna bust his head to the white meat.
yeah.
I
But
know he I know he laughing right now. But go ahead, blast that book,
but
my
yeah.
brother.
So yeah, the name of the book is called "What Happened to Latin and Soul." You know what I mean? And it's on Amazon right now at soft copy, hard copy, and it's at Barnes and Noble. And it's a dope book. I'm not saying it because I'm the author. I'm just saying it because it's a very, very dope book. Like if it was one of if I read this book about somebody's life, I'd have been like, damn, this shit is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, go out there and get that. You know what I mean? What Happened to Latin and Soul on Amazon and then Barnes and Noble.
My man, My man, Ones is on right now, man. He said, my brothers.
Ones, what's up with you, man?
Pop said, I love you, brothers, man. Shout out to the brothers that's on,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That
Yeah,
know
nothing but love, you know what I mean?
that know the journey as well. It's cool. It's
Facts.
cool for us to do this and even be able to acknowledge brothers that been where we at, man. Before I let you go, my brother,
What's up?
what's one thing, like, through everything that you experienced from your book, through the restaurant, what's one thing that sparks like the most focus from your experience that you could share to our listeners? What's that one thing that you get? What's that one gem that you can gather from all this? If we had to sum it
Um,
up.
yeah. I think the one jump is like never ever give up. You know what I mean? Like never give up. Like, like you're gonna have your ups and your downs. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your sunny days. You're gonna have your rainy days. You know what I mean? Never give up. Keep pushing. You know what I mean? Like keep pushing, because as long as you keep pushing, you're gonna break that wall, and whatever it is that you want in life is gonna happen, man. Like facts. Just keep going.
Keep going. That's it.
Keep going.
Keep going or
Yeah.
die. Then
Or die. Keep going or die.
yo, my
Facts.
brother, I love you, my brother. Thank
I
you for
love you
coming
too, Spud.
on
Thank
for the
you, man.
show, man.
Thank you.
It's dope. It's inspirational. That's what we like to do on this platform, is bring people with different talents, different experiences, where people
Yeah.
could take from it what they want and leave from it from what they wish, man. So thank you for sharing your story. Tap into the book, y'all. Be on the lookout for part 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There you
Be on. Bust your
There you
pen.
go.
Bust your pen, man. We was up north busting our pen.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We
for
was up
many
north.
years.
We was poets. The sun, moon, and stars. The light.
We had them coming through.
Had it coming through. Now we can put true to life experience behind it, my
Facts.
brother. Again, let me
That's
give you
a whole
another
fact.
round of applause, my brother.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you for
Thank
coming on
thank
the
you.
show, my brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Oh
Thank
man,
you.
you have a good night.
You as well. Thank you, man.
Gotcha. Shout out to my brother P, man. Shout out to everybody that was on tonight watching MJMG Presents SHU Radio, where we bring you true to life conversations from talents and people with different experiences to give you an experience. It's entertainment, education. It's a conversation where I invite y'all to be on it. Send a big shout out to everybody on the MJMG Presents app. But you know, at the end of the day, I got to give you the end of the word. I got to give you the last word. And this is the last show for the year. So we closing it out, right? If you didn't get anything from today, one thing that you could take from this story is, regardless of the situations, there's always going to be hardships. I don't care if you intertwine friendship or family, love or loved ones. No matter what you do, there will be a hurdle to jump. The question is, are you prepared to jump it? And if you're not prepared to jump it, you could take a second to go around it. See, the key isn't what you experience that ruins what you do. It's how you handle what ruins you if you're gonna keep going. So failing doesn't define you. Highlighting out of it does. Being in incarceration doesn't make you. It shows you where and what you can do. So as you continue in, whether you're a rapper, an entrepreneur, author, you paint bridges, I don't care if you drive trucks, whatever you do, keep doing it to the maximization of you, and keep your eyes and ears open for what's next. Because it's never over until what? You die. Till then, life continues. Will you continue with it? Or are you gonna sit paused at that hurdle, at that hole, at that brick wall, at that locked door? Whatever is holding you, the friendships or families, whatever, will you stop? Because the only thing that you ruin when you do is your journey. I want to send a big shout out to everybody that's on right now, man. Much love to you. Shout out to my boy P, Jeffrey Watkins. Shout out to everybody that's on. This is the end of the year for MJMG Presents. We're closing out the year. I want y'all to be safe. Have an amazing holidays if you celebrate or not. Whatever it is you do, maximize it to the most. And again, it don't matter if they're friends or family, relatives or relative. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart pure and keep doing what you're doing. I saw Brooklyn. This is the end of the year. We're going to close it out with a song. The song is by K4 and Golden562. Shout out to the whole SMG camp. This song right here is called Don't Worry, y'all. Don't worry. And what better way to close the night out with Don't Worry? It's going to work its way, y'all. Y'all be safe.
SHU Studio, we get busy.
You don't gotta worry about us. Nigga know what time it is when it comes to me. My nigga, you stay flogging. Niggas be bucking, but this shit don't matter to me. I'ma keep going, I stay mobbing. I'ma be racking and stacking this motherfucking cheese. You don't gotta worry about us. You don't gotta worry about us. You niggas be acting, you niggas ain't savage stepping on these